Tonight, the apocalyptic aftermath in Louisville near Harper Lake. A bird's eye view of what so many families once called their homes. On the ground, sounds of Canada geese and the sight of snowfall, seemingly a winter wonderland, surrounding what some could mistake for a nuclear winter.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
For Dan Remington, seeing is believing, and so is hearing.
They said this is a fire emergency, evacuate immediately. You are in danger here, this is a fire emergency, evacuate immediately.
Dan recalling the request from firefighters on Thursday as the Marshall Fire ferociously made its way to Dan's neighborhood.
I was really scared. I was in such shock as I drove out of here.
Dan says he and his 9-year-old son evacuated, staying with family not too far away.
And that was it. It's kind of hard to put into words because everything happens really fast. Everything speeds up, and you're hoping as you watch the news that you don't see your house on fire.
He didn't see his home on fire, but that wasn't the case for this home nearby. It is snowing right now, but look below my feet. The snow is hiding the burn marks, the soot, the ruin that was this home.
Here, it's snowing. It's the absolute antithesis of what you saw 24 hours ago.
Tonight, a painful paradox heading into a year of apprehension and heartache for so many families.
I'm thankful beyond words here that I still have a place to come home to. This has been home to me for 31 years. I've lived here 31 years.
Good evening to you both. The dog's name is Baby Girl, and she's on her way to her new home with her new friend, 38-year-old Keith Wade. He says his newfound family member wasn't the result of love at first sight, but rather love after hearing her story.
Meet Baby Girl. But this 6-year-old ain't no baby. If this were a surprise, the tail wagging, salivating, and jumping around proves Baby Girl probably couldn't keep a secret. Everyone's excited because today, on Christmas Eve, she's going somewhere.
You ready to go home? Are you ready to go home?
She's going to her new home for the first time.
Because I'm not alone anymore. You know, I'm not alone anymore.
The setting for this magical union happened at Max Fun Animal Adoption Center in Denver. The organization worked alongside Black Ops Rescue in order to make this Christmas miracle happen. A process that usually takes several months took just a matter of weeks.
I fell in love with her when I heard her story.
A story filled with ephemeral housing, injuries, arthritis, uncertainty. She was adopted in March and then brought right back.
The bond happened when I heard her story. And when I heard her story, I said, this is me.
His story just as uncertain. While on his way to see the birth of his new daughter last year, this 10-year Army vet would end up in the fight for his life.
I was on the highway on 64 going eastbound. A Z71 Silverado came and hit me head on at 70 miles an hour. And simultaneously, a semi hit me at 60.
He says his heart stopped, but today he's on the mend. And he's on the mend alongside his new friend.
I understand what it's like to be alone. I understand what it's like to be hurt and traumatized, and you're by yourself, but still love people.
He understands, and so does Baby Girl.
They have that mutual understanding there. Now, if you don't believe in the Christmas spirit or even fate during this time of year, get this. Both have similar scars on their backs and sides. These scars are lifelong, and so is their unique bond. Guys, Merry Christmas.
Oh, so heartwarming.
My first time here on the grounds of Union Station, both in a professional and personal capacity. And boy, let me tell you, the images here are remarkable and breathtaking in more ways than one.
Welcome to Union Station. Denver's living room, as they call it. Some say it's slowly dwindling into disrepute.
Do you be smoking that inside?
Should you be recording me without my permission?
Yeah, I am. This is a public place.
The problem solvers illuminating these incredible images this week of an increasing problem here. Drug use. Today, we caught up with several people who admit to using drugs here, including this man. He had proof.
Is that a crack pipe?
It's a meth pipe.
Meth pipe?
Like I said, I use methamphetamines for ADHD.
This is all still happening in the wake of Mayor Hancock's statement on Friday surrounding the station's recent stigma. He says in part, illegal drug use, public urination, and unsafe loitering must not be allowed to continue. The mayor also pressing police to increase patrols.
We're at Union Station. We're just feet away from Chestnut Plaza. We saw about 3 or 4 squad cars pull up, Denver police, and we saw about 5 officers get out, put blue latex gloves on, and they're walking, making the rounds. We're not sure exactly what they're doing, but one thing is obvious. There is an increased presence of police here.
There's a lot of drug dealers and drug users and all that.
Marcus Atencio travels through here often. He says the drug use is tough to see, but typical.
I don't mind it. That's them doing them, and I know most of them come from a tough background.
I walk past, I'll see it all the time.
Another passenger who I spoke with lives nearby, and he says his safety has never been compromised, and he isn't scared when walking through the station.
You said you see it, but you kind of just let them do their thing, long as they're not bothering you.
Right. I mean, they keep within themselves.
Tonight, the normally bustling bus and train station, known for its iconic shops and popping pageantry, has become the center of an important conversation on improving station safety.
And we reached out to DPD earlier tonight about those increase in patrols. Hear what they had to say. That's a story we're actively working on for our 10 o'clock hour. We're live downtown. Joshua Short, Fox 31. Good evening, guys. It's been a mind-boggling bookend for so many people, so many residents here in Aurora. Just 4 days ago, we were reporting 6 people shot at a park where kids play. Tonight, I am at a school where kids are supposed to learn. 3 teens shot here. This is something that so many people say is a concern here in Aurora. And they're saying the city isn't necessarily a dangerous city. They're saying the city itself is in danger. Here we go again. Another shooting investigation near an Aurora high school this week. Striking images of teens and parents wrapping their arms around one another as they attempt to wrap their heads around what's become a remarkable reality.
Chief Vanessa Wilson said it's a health crisis, and some were very upset with her about saying that. But I agree with her on that.
Alberta Simmons is a civil rights activist who's fed up with this downright devastating trend. More and more young people becoming victims of gun violence.
But we got to get them guns out of these young people's hands.
We actually caught up with a senior from Hinckley as he left class today. He was in the school when he says he heard gunshots.
I thought he was coming from inside the school. No one really thought it was real, I guess. But then, we came outside and we see all this.
All of this. Crime scene tape, squad cars, command trucks, choppers high above. An overwhelming scene, something these students were sadly preparing for.
We have drills and everything, but I don't think I was ever prepared for an actual shooting. Just the actual panic that came into my head,
So where do we go from here? Is there even a roadmap to show us the way?
We don't want a hand out, we want a hand up.
Whatever the solutions are, one thing remains clear tonight. An end to this unfortunate journey requires all of us working hand in hand together. So many people need to be involved in thwarting all this violence in this city specifically. Coming up in just an hour from now, you're going to hear from an at-large council member for Aurora, what he's saying about all this. And tonight we're hearing for the first time from the mayor of the city. That is coming up in our 10:30 half hour. Guys, back to you.